let's go back to Cardone. Let's listen to his little pitch here. What do we have here?
Exactly the way I'm starting right now, which is walking properties, looking at deals, hanging with my wife right there, underwriting deals, checking out locations. It's
so great, Grant. And here's the deal, by the way. If you want to invest with Grant Cardone, you're going to be doing nothing but paying fees. Okay? You're going to pay him acquisition fee when he buys a property. When he sells a property, you're going to pay him a fee, and you're going to be paying monthly management fees. You're going to be paying so many fucking fees. If I had to guess, I would say probably the total fees out of the gross returns probably are 50%. That's my guess. And I don't think that it's a good chance I'm very, very close to that. So out of the gross returns from his real estate deals, let's say that the gross returns over a 10-year period or a 5-year period are going to be 12%. I would say his fees are going to be 6% when you look at all the expenses. And keep in mind, by the way, what they don't tell you is that when Grant Cardone shows you his little jet, his investors are paying for that. Like, if you invest with him, you're paying for his jet. You understand that, right? That's part of the expenses that he's going to claim for his company. I mean, you understand that, right? You're paying for his lifestyle. He's writing off all these expenses as business expenses. Who do you think's funding that business? The fucking idiots who are sending him money to invest in his real estate. All this lifestyle shit he's writing off as business expenses. I mean, think about it. You all don't know this, right? I mean, so if you have an audience of enough people, enough suckers who are going to give you money to invest, they're just, you got a great lifestyle. They're going to pay your lifestyle. Because think about it. They can finagle just about anything they want and call it a business expense. You understand that, right? They can take elaborate vacations and they can write that off as a marketing expense as long as they made a YouTube video. You realize that, right? Or they had a talk. You all understand this? What do you think Meet Kevin's doing? You don't think he's doing that? Folks, this is the problem when you're dealing with people who are not honest. Predators. Okay? That's why I say you invest in companies that are publicly traded. If you want to invest in real estate, okay, and if you want to invest on your own, you buy a property on your own. It's not fucking difficult. You don't need some fucking swindler out there, some guy selling snake oil and hot air to buy his real estate program. Okay? The most successful people out there are going to be people who learn on their own. You understand that? And that's why, by the way, somebody asked me about my research, and I almost talked. I didn't mention this, but I was going to actually write it. Something people don't know about me. I've never spent a penny on advertisement in my life. One reason why, there's several reasons, but one reason why is because I want people to find me organically and do the legwork on me on their own and look at my track record, look at my insights. Why? Those are the people who are going to be positioned to be successful using my research. You understand? People who are kind of, do-it-yourselfers, doing things on their own, investigating. Those are successful people. And that mentality, it translates into everything. The most successful people are the ones that aren't waiting and hoping for someone to teach them something. They're the ones who are actually doing something on their own and doing something for themselves. Now, can they get a helping hand? Sure. But when you're going to someone for something as simple as real estate, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? That's like Max Mayer selling his moving course, how to create a moving company, which is what he's selling a moving course. I mean, it's like these. If you can't figure out how to start a moving a moving company, right? Freight moving, moving people's furniture and shit from their apartment, from their house. If you need to buy a course on that, you're in trouble. You're not going to be able to run a successful company. It's that simple. Why? Because you don't have what it takes. You understand? You don't have the right mindset. Something that fucking basic. And that reminds me too, by the way, of these people. You get all these deadbeats living overseas, and they got their YouTube channels, and it's all fucking fake videos. They want to show you how amazing the Philippines is, and you notice how all these places are great. Oh, it's all great. They don't show you the reality. They don't show you the full picture, right? Oh, it's all great. And all these like cost of living videos, which are all fucking lies, complete fucking lies. What they'll do as well is, a lot of them will say, okay, I'm giving consultations. Would you like to move to such and such? Schedule a consultation, $200 an hour. Kid you not. And I'm thinking to myself, hey, listen, if you're going to move from your country to another country and you can't do it on your own, especially if you're moving from an advanced country to a developing country or less developed country, and you need someone to help you out, do yourself a huge favor and stay home, because you're not going to make it. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, if you're not able to like navigate things, you stay home, because there's a lot of shit you're going to have to deal with. Okay? But, there's a lot of fucking stupid people out there. Anyway, let's finish with Grant here.
It's simple to do this. You don't need money. You don't need credit. You just need...
That's the time-tested line, folks. It's simple. You don't need money. You don't need credit. I'm surprised he doesn't say you don't need brains. Anytime anyone says it's easy, you don't need money, you don't need this, you don't need that, it's easy, they want to lower the barrier, they want to lower the hurdle for the dumbest, most inept people in the world. Anytime you hear that, you're dealing with a scammer. Okay? Think about it for a second. You don't need money, you don't need anything. It's easy. It's easy to make good money. No, it's not. No, it's not. You're lying. Stop lying, Grant. You're a liar. Stop it. Stop it.
It's so simple to do this. You don't need money. You don't need credit. Locations. It's so simple to do this. You don't need money. You don't need credit. You just need to start. It's so simple to do this. You don't need money. You don't need credit. You just need to start.
See, so Grant's an experienced charlatan. I would say in his earlier years, he would say, you don't need money, you don't need credit, you just need a mentor. You just need a guide. But he knows better now, you see, so he's not going to say that. Kind of like Robert Kiyosaki. Same thing, Fake teachers, fake education. Jobs are for losers. Stock market's for losers, right? You need a real education. He's not going to tell you him, but you understand. They know you're going to say, oh, well, yeah, it sounds good. Can you help me? Right? Fucking bullshit.
You don't need money. You don't need credit. You just need to start. And I want to show you how to start. It's completely free training. Take about 120 minutes of your time, and I'm going to put you in the game, I guarantee you. Click the link below. Register. This will be sold out like everything else I do. I'd love to have you be there to start your...
I don't sold out. How's it sold out if it's free? Grant, you're not exactly the sharpest knife in the drawer, are you, buddy? No, you're not. What school did you go to, Grant? Did you go to community college? Did you even go to college? Yeah.
Real estate career, okay? Or continue with your real estate career. I'll show you some tricks you've never seen before.
Yeah, I'm sure. Folks, anyone who tells you there's tricks in real estate, they're liars. Now, I could claim that there's tricks in anything. It depends upon how stupid the people are, right? If they're very fucking stupid, you can say, well, it's a trick for them. There's no tricks in real estate. Anybody who's telling you that, you need to understand they're lying to you. They're a con artist. Okay?
how to buy with no money down, how to get a loan below market, and how to ensure that your first deal makes you at least $1 million. That should be your goal.
You hear that?
Makes you at least $1 million. How to ensure that, and how to ensure that your first deal, a loan, continue with your real estate career. I'll show you some tricks you've never seen before. How to buy with no money down, how to get a loan below market, and how to ensure that your first deal makes you at least $1 million.
I need to say this. You all download this video because my real player doesn't work. You hear this? He's going to show you how to ensure your first real estate deal makes you $1 million. Tell me this guy's not engaging in marketing deception, if not fraud, which there's really a fine line between the two. The claims that he makes, and I haven't even begun to look into this guy yet, by the way. I haven't even begun. The problem with this guy is he's got so many videos out there. It's virtually impossible to go through his shit. So if any of you guys want to come up with like a clip, like a video showing clips of his bullshit claims, that'd be great. That'd be super if you all want to do that. Matter of fact, why don't you guys do that? Why don't you support the effort and do that? Because I'm not going to be able to do it. Don't have the time. Yeah. Here we go. Look at this guy, by the way. Look, CoffeeZilla. He destroyed a $500 million Ponzi scheme. False claims. CoffeeZilla, you're a clickbait con artist. Shut it. Just stop it, you fucking scammer. You understand? And by the way, let me just mention something. It's funny because our friend, Scott Schaefer, the CoffeeZilla wannabe guy, fake guru detective wannabe, like CoffeeZilla. It's funny because I just checked in with Scott the other day. Scott's blocked me because, I didn't insult him, didn't do anything. But Scott, and this is a guy, by the way, who had emailed me in the past asking for guidance, and I'm the one that advised him to file a police report on those fucking grifters who were doxing him and cyber stalking him. This Fabio janitor guy and this Echoes fucking clown, which is funny because Scott removed that video, which Scott, by the way, I saved that video. I happen to have that video, which I accidentally found. But anyway, it's funny because I saw a video of Scott and I was reading the comments, and it's funny because I saw at least 2 comments where people were saying, "Oh, yeah, you're just trying to get ad clicks," and people were saying, "Oh, I saw scam ads on this video." So more and more people are onto that shit, and I want you guys to do the same thing. I want you guys to go into CoffeeZilla's channel, to go into Scott's channel, and say, "Hey, you're monetizing your channel. You're selling ads for scammers. How are you a scam buster?" These guys are, CoffeeZilla has now entered the territory of a scam artist, pure scam artist, right? When he's making these false claims. He's doing that to get ad clicks. You understand? Scammer, pants on fire. And by the way, contact this little boy. Tell him what I said. Tell him what he has to say. Huh? He likes to call people out. He likes to, meet with people and ask them questions. How about meeting with me? Asking some questions I have. You understand? Somebody contact him. Okay? Let's continue with this.
It should be your goal. Your first deal should make you a millionaire. Imagine that, okay? Spend 120 minutes with me, and I'll show you how to put one deal on the books, your first deal, or your second deal, or your next deal. Oh man, this neighborhood is fantastic, isn't it?
Amazing.
Look at this. All I'm doing is hanging with my wife, shopping real estate.
Grant Cardone is clearly a fucking con man. There's no doubt about it. And remember, folks, Kevin Pathrath, he's copying Grant Cardone. Isn't it funny, all these guys that claimed to expose? I mean, that's why I don't really cover Grant Cardone. The only reason why I did a little video on him is that video was an advertisement. It was a YouTube advertisement, you see, and I wanted to expose how he was lying, making false claims, claiming that he owned, I don't know how many billion in real estate. No, he doesn't. It's a lie. That's an investment. He doesn't own it. He's in control of it. Okay, but I mean, obviously, Grant Cardone's obviously a con man. There's no doubt about it. It's obvious. So I don't even want to waste time with him. But you know, you had these guys. They start off going after the obvious con men, right? Meet Kevin did that, right? Tom Nash did that, right? What happened? Meet Kevin goes after. In fact, you know, the type of bullshit that he went, you know, going and dressing up and harassing Grant Cardone, you know, just anything for fucking attention, right? Well, guess what? Kevin became Grant Cardone. He became Grant Cardone. That's how these guys start off, a lot of them, right? Notice that? They pretend to go after. That's why it's so obvious, you can tell. They go after the guy. Why? Because that's how they get the ad clicks. Because what happens is this. When you go after an obvious guy like Ty Lopez, right? Or Grant Cardone, that has a lot of, you know, a lot of people know about them because they advertise a lot. Obviously a lot of people know the real deal, right? And then when you get a guy who wants to call him out, well, that's a great way to get a lot of subscribers, right? It's a great way to get a lot of subscribers. So that's what they'll do. They'll do that to get a lot of subscribers. Once you got the subscribers, game over. Once you got people that are going to follow you, it's game over. You can milk the fuck out of them. You're going to milk the fuck out of them. You're going to milk them with ad clicks. You're going to milk them with your affiliate links. You're going to milk them with whatever. And they're going to think that they're a savior. This is the way it works, folks. This is the internet. These portals online are designed to create cult followings. I'm telling you. That's why the channel owner can control everything. That's why they have likes. And they don't even show you dislikes. You understand? That's why they show view count. That's why they show the number of subscribers. Why are they showing you that? Because they know the people are going to be influenced by that. Oh, 12 million views. It must be legitimate. It must be great. Think about a world where it didn't show you how many likes, didn't show you how many subscribers, didn't show you how many views. Think about if all content online had no subscriber numbers, no content numbers, none of that stuff. Think about it. That would drastically change how people viewed things and how they thought about things, would it not? Of course it would. So these platforms are created by the criminal companies in order to empower the scammers. It's done intentionally. They're able to shadow ban people, to hide comments. Why? Go on Tom Nash's channel. Every single comment's great because Tom Nash goes through and blocks everybody who calls him out. You understand? So if you're looking at Tom Nash's channel for the first time, what do you see? Oh, wow, everyone's saying he's great. You know, you understand. And so people get caught by that. That's fraud. That's fraud. That's fraud by deception. In my opinion, when you're doing that, and you are selling a product and you are specifically blocking criticism and only keeping positive things, which are probably by demented people, you're misleading people for the purpose of selling a product that's fraud, especially when your product is dog shit. And most especially when that product is based upon false pretense of bogus background, bogus credentials, like in Tom Nash's case. Checking to meet Kevin. Con man, liar, fraud. Don't sue me. Folks, I want to encourage you guys to sue Kevin. Kevin needs to be sued. He's actually a damn fool now because he can more easily be sued. Very easily. Of course, every single clickbait video is an opportunity for Kevin to basically pitch his courses. That's all he does. Right? My courses. Scam artist, liar, and fraud. In terms of getting back as an investor, if it's coming down to here, almost irrespective of what's going on, I have to believe, if I have to make a call in advance, and of course I can change depending on what happens, but I have to believe this is where you want to start doing that 18, 17, around there. Their earnings report is a complete game changer, at least for quite a while. Bottom line, NVIDIA now is going to enter the realm of Tesla, Apple, and all these other big, I mean, listen, NVIDIA can come down to 150, come down to $100. If you don't think it's possible, then you don't understand how the market works. I mean, listen, NVIDIA can come down to 150, come down to $100. If you don't think it's possible, then you don't understand how the market works.